Hi, I'm going to be talking about my theory project. It's on deviance and social theory, and basically, the root cause of criminal activity is the social deviance. Sociologists have long tried to pin down reasons that people choose to commit crimes, leading to the application of sociological theory to describe the origins of deviance. Three that stand out are the labeling theory, strain theory, and conflict theory. Each is important for understanding the reason that individuals choose to break the law and how they can be viewed as actors within the society. Each sociological concept provides insight into why people break the law. Each assumes each assumes offenders made rational choices and they are a product of their environments. Also, each have important applications for the criminal justice system. As we learn more about the application of sociological concepts, they can be more directly used to limit the likelihood that crimes will be committed in the future. These are broad applications that do not account for all the crimes that are committed, but this is helpful categorization promotes awareness of the origins of psychopathological and criminal activity, creating a pattern of behavior and thought process. Labeling theory is the most often connected with crimes against property, such as vandalism, burglary, arson. Strain theory is most often connected with the white collar crimes, such as embezzlement, tax evasion, and inside trading. Conflict theory is more commonly associated with different types of organized crimes, especially relating to gang activity, and common types of gang related crimes include drug trafficking, gambling, and prostitution. Labeling theories is referring to the concept that individuals are geared towards social deviation because of the application of labels that delineate them as marginal in some way, especially in relations to behavior, actions, and attitude they may have. The central focus of labeling theory is the attachment of social stigma, in which the individual believes that he or she is an outsider or different from everyone else. Stigmatization attaches adjectives that shape personal self identity. The person who's stigmatized by a label may feel as if this label encompasses their personality entirely. Labeling them can help. Labeling can happen retroactively as a process by which a person's prior actions may be perceived as deviant, especially after they have committed a crime. However, a more application approach from the criminal justice perspective would be proactive labeling, in which a person already feels marginal or deviant prior to committing the crime. Labeling theory has important applications for law enforcement officials because it can help shape community driven strategies that diminish frequency of stigmatization. This can also help police officers understand why criminal activity occurs and how best to prevent it in the future. For example, stronger communities with greater participation in community activities may diminish the number of people who feel marginalized. Increased participation in community events could strengthen appreciation for diversity. Key solutions might include increasing funding to community activities focused on community involvement, building events in which diversity is celebrated. In addition, law enforcement officers may encourage to target monitoring and supervision of individuals and groups who feel as if they are different or marginal in society. String theory was developed by Robert Merton. I know we haven't spoken about him uh, in this class as of yet. But to describe the origins of social deviance, he basically described the social origins of social deviance. For Merton, deviance is connected to formation and adherence to culture goals. Common culture goals are those which most people value, such as accumulation of wealth, adoration of our acquaintances, and acquaintances of material items. I'm sorry, acquisition of certain material items or acquisition of certain material items. As people begin to feel as if they are unlikely to achieve these, they feel motivated to do so through deviant means such as criminal offenses. Therefore, deviance results from avoidance of social norms is in favor of cultural goals. Social achievement is preferable to adherence to social standards for those types of criminals. The key factor is the loyalty that person feels to culturally established goals. White collar crimes often result from discrepancies between social expectations and personal achievements, which result in social strain and motivation to act in a deviant way. As people feel that their dreams and goals are slipping away, they may feel as if they have no choice but to commit an act of deviance to get what they want. And this way, a person may be motivated to commit a white collar crime, such as theft and embezzlement. The alert to do so would likely be in response to three factors: the attractiveness of the object or the crime, the motivation of offenders, and the nature of the opportunity. As for one or more of these factors grows in attractiveness, a person would be more likely to commit the act. For example, a person may engage in tax evasion if they feel as if there no one is likely to catch them. Then they will culturally embed goals are not attainable through traditional means. A criminal offender coached towards deviance may social strain adheres by social strain adheres more to cultural goals of wealth, material gain than social norms or cultural values. In this way, a person may feel compelled to act because they have no other choice or because they are confronted with the appearance of valuable opportunities. For example, a person may embezzle money for the firm, may have abandoned their adherence to social development standards for ethics. They may feel as if they have no other choice to act. Social strain may be mitigated by promoting mental health awareness and organization, also with implementing professional development programs. In addition, people may benefit from paying less attention to people culture, which often promotes unrealistic images of wealth, such as social media. That's one example that I can think of that may cause more crime. Um, Organized crime can often be described through conflict theory, which states that individuals are likely to act in a different way when they sense conflict with other social economic groups. This type of conflict can result in social or political inequality. Those forces groups members to feel disadvantaged or lack opportunity. These groups may feel encouraged in deviant manners in order to create change for themselves and their group. For example, organized crime, syndicates, or gangs often grow around memberships among a specific demographic group, and these can lead to organized crimes actively, such as the formation of drug cartels. In some cases, social protests arise through social inequality and group formation. They may not lead to criminal activity, but in other cases, adherence to group memberships naturally entitles engagement of crime. Conflict theory is most obviously connected with low income neighborhoods and long-standing affiliation with diminished socioeconomic opportunities. Therefore, common types of crimes that result from conflict theory perspectives relate to gang activity and other forms of organization crimes. For example, people may be more willing to connect themselves with other individuals with similar socioeconomic status in order to increase the chances that they can financial and social uh, gain financially and socially. For example, the saying "you are who you hang around." Individuals may feel as though they have limited options for social financial success, and this creates a natural source of conflict with members of groups who do. As a result, law enforcement may target sources of suspected gang activities, in addition to community states that funnel financial resources toward communities that have limited social economic opportunities may benefit from decrease in gang activity and lower criminal rates. Sociological sources of crime and deviance are critical for understanding why people commit crimes. These these sociological concepts naturally explain the sources of deviance and can be applied to stockholders in the criminal justice system. Labeling theories uh, purports to explain the roles of stigmatization and committing acts of deviance. As the people feel marginalized, as they are more likely to sense an absence of consequence and diminish need to adhere to social norms. Social strain lead to gap between social standards and culture goals. Conflict theorists attach socioeconomic reasons to natural conflict occurs between socioeconomic groups. Each has a unique application to criminal justice system and should be utilized by police officers, social workers, correctional officers, and care providers. While these are three concepts alone do not account for all reasons behind criminal activity, they do provide a foundation of understanding why people act in criminal deviant ways. And that concludes my presentation.